this tutorial, we're going to cover how to draw trend lines properly. Okay. I'm using empty for this demonstration, but no, it doesn't matter what trading tool you're using. The principle is the same. Okay. Now, trend lines can be a very subjective process, but really it is really, really simple. All right. It just takes a little bit of practice. Grab any chart. Okay. And depending on the time frame that you're looking at, it makes a difference. You can be doing it in 1 hour, or you can be doing it in daily. Most traders probably use the 1 hour time frame, right? And you've got to look at cycles. Okay. To draw a trend line, we'll probably be going from this peak to this trough over here. Right. To draw a trend line, you use this button there, draw trend line. Okay. When you click on it, to draw a trend line, you join the highest peak to the next highest peak. Okay. And you'll notice that when you let go, the trend line clicks in. Okay. In this instance, as the market keeps on moving up and down, oscillating up and down, you'll find some of the peaks of that oscillation bypass the trend line and then come down. They go over the trend line and come down, right? Sort of representing false breakouts. Okay. Here's the other one, comes down. So as the market continues to evolve, one would probably readjust that trend line, right? And set it to that next highest peak there and then let go, right? The ray of that trend line, right, gives you that projection all the way until the market, breaks the trend line, okay? Then since that it would have broken it, big candle, okay, probably an announcement, interest rates, whatever it might be, right? It's usually what causes those big long wicks like that, right? Let's draw another trend line, maybe to the upside. All right, if you were to draw a trend line to this side, same principle. Click on the draw trend line, go from the trough to the peak. The peak is this point here, right? So we draw it from there. The next lower high is that there. You let go, and you'll notice the trend line clicks in. Okay. In that instance, just let it project. It's okay sometimes for the price to break a little bit of the trend line. That's fine. But overall, the market was above that trend line, right? Until it breaks, it does a retest on the back of that trend line before it sort of moves sideways a little bit, and then it continues on this trajectory on the downside, right? To delete a trend line, you double click, you'll see the little squares come up, and then you hit the delete button. All right. To the next one, double click, and you hit the delete button. Right. There is another way to delete a trend line, and that's usually through the objects property. So let's say you draw this trend line from that peak to that peak there, right? And every chart has object properties. So if you went to the object list, right click anywhere on the chart, hit object list, and you'll find the trend line object there, and you can hit delete, and it deletes it for you. Sometimes when you've got multiple objects on the chart, or indicators and trend lines, it's hard to double click. So that's just another way for you to get rid of that trend line. And let's do one more. All right, zoom out a little bit. All right, when it's really obvious. Sometimes you can draw it from the bottom to that peak there. Okay. Right. And you'll notice that the market bounces off. In this instance, there was a false breakout, came back up, but overall, the market was above that trend line there. The more points it hits the trend line, the more it revalidates the trend line, and the stronger the trend line it is. Okay. There are some times where you might want to draw an inner trend line, right? But you draw that from other specific. So let's start again. Let me just get rid of this trend line here. Okay. Let's say let's find one. Let's find a good example. All right. Just bear with me. Okay, so he's probably, imagine you are drawing a trend line from this point, right, to that point there, right? And then the market accelerates really quickly to the upside, right? You might want to draw a trend line from that point there to that point there, okay? And this is more for intraday traders, right? It shows you there's another internal trend line, and when it breaks that trend line there, the market finds another level of support, which is another trend line there, breaks through the trend line, oscillates a little bit, back of the trend line, comes down again until it resumes, on the market on the way up again. But that's basically how you will draw trend lines. Hope you enjoyed this session. Look